have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the night getting. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night got a team, I've been tied to the scene. Out on stage, here I'm screaming. Okay, it's a dream, and I pray as a team. One day it'll be me. If I want it, then I'll get it. Head down, don't regret it. Push myself to the limit. If I play it, then I win it. I'm just saying, I'm just living for today. For a minute, I don't stay, I just visit. Have no shame, I admit it. Looking to see if I succeed, to see if I believe. They're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now. Swear to God, man, I'ma make it soon. Silence all the haters as they see us making moves. I do what I want, so I got nothing to prove. Staying motivated, teaching others what to do. I'm staying focused, my mind is open. They start to notice that I'm in motion. There is no potion, you're not just chosen. It takes devotion to stay composed, man. Never stop, there ain't no time to fall. Try to live, get it up, you got one life to pop. Thinking big, never small, cause you gotta want it all. When you finally get that call, you get ready, take it on. Need a hand out, I already stand out. Starting to advance now, ready to expand now. You don't have a chance now, cause we're in demand now. Make it by the grand now, feeling in command now. They're looking right at me to see if I succeed, to see if I believe. They're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me.
Welcome to Unique Prepping. My name is Zach, and the reason why this channel exists is because I want to build a community of prepping, homesteading, freesteading like-minded people who want to learn, grow, and build a beautiful future together. My goal is wanting people to understand that no matter what life throws at you, physical limitations you have, or situation you may encounter, we all can unite and fight for our future generations to come. The reason why I'm so passionate about the future is because I was born into this world dead for 27 minutes, and I believe that when I was unconscious, God retrieved me back into heaven, replaced my abilities to walk and talk normally with the ability to have a powerful brain and heart to build a beautiful community, to hold the line and have a freedom that we, as God's children, deserve. Welcome to the channel, and let's learn together. Disclaimer. While this stream is intended for everyone, some views expressed by guests or in comments may not reflect that of the content creator or sponsors. With that said, we welcome your views as a vital part of this community. And now it's time for Unique Prepping's Community Live Stream.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I hope everyone is doing well on this day.
Good evening, our wonderful community, and welcome to the third installment of Unique Prepping's Community. On tonight's episode, we'll be discussing the benefits of why we should rely more on community than the government. I'm your producer, host and brother Unique Prepping, and with me are my co-hosts and our wonderful community members John Moseman from John Moseman Productions. Hopefully Nadia from Nadia Knows will be joining us as well. Down in the description of this video, I have put the links to our community members that we have on tonight. Please go subscribe to them and help this community grow even further. Before we get into tonight's topic, how are you guys and gals doing?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing well, Zach. How are you doing? Good to see everyone in the chat. Hello again to Linda and to Mario. Good to see you again here. Good to see Shoemaker083. Experience with Sassy. Good to see you. Looks like she's not feeling well. She says, Zach, I'm going to be in the chat. Still not feeling my best. Is that Katya? Maybe is how you pronounce it? I don't know. That's how I'm thinking it's probably pronounced. Good to see you. Cola, Brent, 007, Sean. So I think I've covered everyone that's in there. Looks like JJ is here as well. JJ, good to see you.
That's good, and I'm doing good this evening, thank you. Also, I appreciate you wanting to join me tonight. This topic is starting to become important to me personally, as I really don't like what the government, with the help of BlackRock and Vanguard, is doing to us people. It's like they want their agenda pushed on us, and I'm to the point where I'm not paying attention to government. Rather, I'm trying to build us a community that can support and love one another, be as independent and free of the system as we possibly can, and my ultimate goal is to help people realize that we need each other at the end of the day. I'm tired of being in a world where certain entities are trying to enforce their rules on us. I'm tired of them trying to enforce things onto our children like they're their parents, trying to keep us in our tiny little freaking boxes so they can control our minds. This is why this topic is so important to me. Thank you for being here tonight. Any words you want to add?
Well, I'll start off because I'm the one right up here. But then when our other guest, if she is to show up, we'll have her introduce herself and all that as well, huh, Zach? I want to say hi to Mr. Smith again. Good to see you, Mr. Smith. Always good to see you. GMA Nana, it's good to see you as well. I'm doing well, and Zach and I were talking about this subject offline, and we were talking about why it's important because having a community, having people who you can rely on matters more, because especially when you see like you mentioned, Zach, with BlackRock and other lobbyists and these groups from all these other kind of companies that are trying to push this ESG and all that, right? They have an agenda. And, to me, I always say that it's important that we acknowledge what people's agendas are. And it's kind of, the best way to kind of do this is to say, the people who are often in charge of government often get money from it. So good to see you. Is that, I think, Heige Homestead? Is that how you pronounce it? Maybe. Yeah. So, but it is important to talk about it because I think there's been several examples we can look into, and I know that's one of your questions tonight, Zach, and I'll wait for that a moment on that. But definitely for sure, where government fails people. We've talked about we're going to talk about maybe some examples of where community helps, but I think part of that conversation as well, Zach, is when government does not help. And I remember, I know you were probably still in school, Zach, when Hurricane Katrina happened, and you just saw how terrible the response to that was, right? I mean, so and there's more examples of that where the government, is not as useful. And you look at places where, like Tennessee, like, do you remember that they had that flood in Tennessee a few years back? And the federal government didn't go in there because the Tennessee state government and the people in like communities like Nashville were like, hey, guess what? We don't need your help. We'll figure this out. We'll help each other. We'll help ourselves. So, yeah. By the way, guys, I want to make sure to remind you there, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification button for Zach so that you get all of Unique Prepping's content videos. Make sure you hit Shoemaker. Thank you for the Discord link there. The Summer of Love government just stood down. Exactly, Sean. Yep. I wasn't around for the Summer of Love though. Not that old. But if you go to Discord, I'm always getting Discord notifications about the latest video that Zach puts out. So that's another great way of not only reaching community, connecting the community, but also getting all of the latest updates. Because always Unique Prepping just to put out another video. So. Okay, 2020 Summer of Love. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so Summer of Love, I get what you're saying. Okay, yeah, exactly, because that's what they called it. Yeah, I get it. I was thinking of 69 Summer of Love because they called that the Summer of Love too. And of course, a lot of stuff happened in 69. Interesting year to study, by the way, if you're into history. Mostly peaceful. Exactly. Mostly. I think of that quote from Aliens where they're like, they come out at night, mostly. Good to see you, Independent Mini United. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in, saying hi to Zach and I, and good to see you, TDB. Good to see you as well. Rebecca, it's good to see you again. Welcome in, Rebecca. No. Teresa Buchanan, it's good to see you as always.
Here's what I want to do this evening. I'll ask questions that I have typed out, and let's start with John so we can all answer our opinions, if that's okay. This way we can keep on track of the topic, and at the end of the questions, we can add anything else we have on our minds. Thank you.
All right. Don Stryker. I think the eclipse will be mostly peaceful too. She-Wolf, good to see you. Welcome in. You got it up in your live stream. Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Question number 1. In what ways can communities provide more effective support and resources during times of crisis compared to governmental institutions?
Well, kind of like what I was just saying there a little bit about when FEMA was unable to go into places like New Orleans, right? and you saw people having to use resources in their community. Of course, a lot of them didn't have resources, but communities can stick together in a lot of ways that where, you know, I've always find that government is good at responding to things after they happen, not so much at being proactive about either giving you resources to help you through that. And, you know, it's kind of like the same thing always happens. It's like, you know, for people who especially live in places like Florida, right, where you get lots of hurricanes, the government's not going to help you get through that hurricane by yourself, right? They're going to come in after and help you assess the damage and do all that, maybe get you some water, but like it's your community that's going to be there and say, hey, let's how many, you know, do we need to board up the windows? Do you have a generator? Do we need to have water or ice or all of those kinds of things? So obviously with community, we can see that, good to see you, Jules. Thanks for stopping in. We can see that one, there's more ability to react to things quicker. Government is notorious for reacting terribly. And if you don't believe me, I want to tell you about a little thing called the BP incident. Do you remember that, Zach? And Obama was basically golfing during the whole BP thing. Mayhem Studios, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. So I think you're able to make more plans. I think you're able to assess situations, your friends in your community, and can help you kind of figure out, like, for example, Zach, if you're an emergency and you lost power, right? They would know if there was certain things you might need. Whereas the government may not just know you as your social security number and may just know you as, you know, the tax entity or whatever. And they may not know, oh yeah, Zach's got these issues. He's got these unique abilities, right? And they're not going to, you know, they may know some of those things, but they're not going to take the time to invest in how that's going to help. Deep water BP. Oh yeah. I think it is, Sean, for sure. I think it was. FEMA didn't help Kentucky after the tornadoes the other year. Exactly. It was the prepper community that helped that. Exactly, Rebecca. FEMA also, or not the FEMA, but EPA. We've even seen situations where they were supposed to, like, the EPA had a storage and they were supposed to do something here in Colorado. You remember what they did with the river? That was over by your neck of the woods, right? And the whole river just went in southern Colorado. It was just like, oh man. Communities are more able to, I think, so I would sum it up as that they're good at being able to mobilize quicker. They're good at understanding particular individual needs, right? And also they are going to probably be more invested in helping you than a government which is looking to maybe manage a situation or a crisis more than actually assisting individuals. So just my thoughts. Mario says, first, we need to build our list of key community players that cover the essential survival needs. Absolutely. Government did cause Flint. Exactly, Rebecca. Yep. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. Scariest 9 words in the English language. Yep, you're quoting Reagan there.
Communities can provide more effective support and resources during times of crisis compared to governmental institutions in several ways. Immediate response. Communities are often the first responders in times of crisis due to their proximity and knowledge of local needs. They can mobilize quickly to provide assistance, such as shelter, food, and medical aid, before government agencies can coordinate their efforts. Tailored solutions. Communities have a deep understanding of their own needs and challenges, allowing them to tailor support and resources to specific circumstances. This personalized approach can address gaps that government programs may overlook or be unable to address efficiently. Social networks. Community ties and social networks play a crucial role in times of crisis, enabling rapid communication and coordination of resources. People within communities are often more willing to help and support each other, fostering a sense of solidarity and resilience. Flexibility and innovation. Communities have the flexibility to adapt and innovate in response to changing circumstances. They can leverage local knowledge and resources creatively to find solutions that may not be feasible within the bureaucratic constraints of governmental institutions. Long-term sustainability. Building community resilience fosters long-term sustainability by strengthening social cohesion and fostering a culture of mutual support. This resilience can help communities recover more quickly from crises and build stronger foundations for future challenges. Overall, communities provide a critical layer of support and resources that complements governmental efforts during times of crisis, emphasizing the importance of grassroots initiatives and community-led responses.
Yeah. Yeah. And you hit on something too. By the way, I gave you the Dr. Dr. Seuss version of that. Zach just gave you the War and Peace version of that, right? Professor Zach giving us the full details on that, but absolutely. But I think the one thing you hit on there is that a local community is going to be more likely to care about what happens to you. And that isn't always the case with government, you know. We assume that the government has our best interests, but it's only got our interests as long as it can serve its own interest and it can function, right? That's the whole reason why they need us, is for their purpose to exist and function. And you know, and I think if we want to stop some of the overreach of federal governments and we want to stop kind of these things, we have to start learning to rely on ourselves and each other, for sure. 100%. Good to see you, Josh, Gardner Josh. But yeah, that was a really good, like, detailed response you just gave us, Zach. I mean, that was Hey, Random JL, it's good to see you again. Random is always a good person. Always good to see you. The other thing too is I think we were talking about this, Zach, offline, and I think this is something that I really do believe. When we talked about the principle of subsidiarism, and I said, you know, it's not just that it's more effective; it's true, right? From if you want to go from a pure pragmatic standpoint, relying on community is a better thing than government. It's usually a more quicker, accurate thing, but I think it's also morally the better thing to do as well, Zach. Right? Because to me, if I'm giving money, I don't want to give money to somebody in another country that's going to use that money for something that is not going to impact my community, right? So I would rather my money go to my community, right? I would rather my resources go to my community. And so if I need help, I would rather go to my community. And I have that. Thankfully, I have my family. And that's the first one I'd go to. And if I couldn't go to my family, I'd go to my friends. If I couldn't go to my friends, I would go to my church. If I didn't go to my church, I would go to a local charity in the area. If they couldn't help me, then maybe I start considering the county government. And if they couldn't help me, then maybe I would consider the state government. But way at the bottom of that list, am I going to rely on the federal government? Zach, shirts are awesome, y'all. Oh, cool. Did he get some of your shirts then, buddy? Uh-oh. Sean says, Shoemaker, this chat's going to get huge. Be ready. Wonder if it means we're okay. Visit. Yeah, there's the link right there for the merch right there. So visit uniqueprepping.com for your merch. Right, Sean. And even before our township, family, friends, church, or religious organization, or auxiliary charity organizations within your community, then township, county. But yeah. So John wants to give my organization money. Mayhem, I need to bring that up. Moonchild, good to see you, Moonchild. Always good to see you. But that is an interesting example right there, because Mayhem brings up the organization that he does, and Zach, about what he does in his organization there, right? And it right now it's focused on helping train people on how to help people in rescue situations in Arkansas. And of course I was I know I know you, friend. And so that's a good example there too of an organization that will have training, that's a community-based organization that can respond before FEMA ever gets the situation. So he's actually a good person to ask these kinds of questions to as well. Best Life, good to see you. Thank you, Andy.
Question number 2. How does fostering a strong sense of community aid in resilience and preparedness for unforeseen challenges or disasters?
How does fostering a strong sense of community aid in resilience and preparedness? Okay, so Zach, of course, if you guys are not new, if you guys are for some reason new to this chat or this stream, by the way, welcome. But most of you probably have been in here, so he asks these really in-depth questions, and they're really great questions, Zach. How does fostering a strong sense of community aid in resilience? Well, I think when you invest in your community, and I mean not just money or time or your physical energy or your physical labor, right? Your sweat equity, if you'd call it that. But you invest also emotionally. You invest in trying to do things that would appreciate or kind of have a sense of commitment. Because again, community, there is always going to be a sense of helping each other out, right? And so fostering a strong sense of community, not only does it help you improve your community, meaning it will allow your relationships to be good in that community. And in good times, that's great. But in bad times, when you do need the resilience, when you do need the preparedness for unseen challenges, that is, I think, a great way to assist it. But how does fostering a strong... I think the big way it does it is by giving people an investment in caring. Like we said, I think government, for the most part, does not care about individual needs as much as they do the stability of the government itself. And so they know that the reason why they invest in helping communities when they hit like a disasters, right, is that definitely needs to help people. So, but absolutely, I do think that the best way of doing that is by fostering, and I think when people take time to get to know each other and care about each other, then we're invested in helping each other. That means, hey, Zach, I know you need something. What can I do to help you out, buddy? Right? Let's see here. Rebecca says, I believe a strong sense of community aids in resilience because it means the community will support you and they know to support you. Right. And you invest in that community together, Rebecca. Exactly. And I think that the thing of it is this. You get what... I love to say, in a perfect world, you give what you get, or you get what you give. But we all know there's people who do more than other people, right? And so obviously that is always going to be a problem. But ideally, in a community, if it's a good community that's fostered on some of these values that we talked about in earlier episodes, right? And by the way, if you haven't watched episode 2 in one of Unique Prepping's community streams, check that out, and you'll kind of grow into this kind of thing, right? But helping that does help everything. So absolutely. Hello, perpetual platypus. Okay, I don't know if I want to say that. That's a naughty minx word there. But good to see you. Sean says question 2 equals an esprit de corps. If anyone has a communal bond, can do an attitude accomplishes more. The ladies can prep soup, men can lift fallen trees, and kids can bring in the fish and teamwork. Yes. Or in my case, Sean, I will do the cleaning. Zach can actually probably lift the fallen trees better than I can. Oh, and yeah, but that's I know that's my role. If I'm in a community like that, or we're in a situation on a homestead, or I don't have a lot of physical strength, unfortunately, but me and Zach will make soup for everybody, won't we, Zach?
Fostering a strong sense of community aids in resilience and preparedness for unforeseen challenges or disasters in several ways. Mutual support. In tight-knit communities, members are more likely to support and assist each other during times of need. This mutual support network provides emotional, physical, and practical assistance, increasing overall resilience. Information sharing. A strong sense of community facilitates effective communication channels. Members can quickly disseminate vital information about impending threats, evacuation procedures, available resources, and other essential details, improving preparedness and response. Resource pooling. Communities with a strong sense of solidarity often engage in resource pooling. This could involve sharing supplies, equipment, expertise, or even shelter space during emergencies, ensuring that everyone has access to necessary resources.
Those are all solid points.
Collective
right there,
decision-making. Community involvement in decision-making processes enhances preparedness efforts. When community members collaborate to identify risks, develop plans, and implement strategies, they are more likely to create effective solutions that address the diverse needs and concerns of the entire community. Psychological resilience. Strong community bonds provide psychological support during and after disasters. Knowing that one is part of a supportive network can reduce stress, anxiety, and feelings of isolation, contributing to individual and collective resilience. Capacity building. Fostering a strong sense of community encourages residents to develop skills and knowledge relevant to disaster preparedness and response. This capacity building can include first aid training, emergency communication skills, hazard identification, and mitigation techniques, strengthening the community's ability to cope with unforeseen challenges. To sum up this question, a strong sense of community enhances resilience and preparedness by promoting collaboration, information sharing, resource mobilization, and psychological well-being, all of which are essential components of effective disaster response and recovery.
Absolutely. Yep. By the way, I just want to say hi there, Scrimshaw Rose, welcome in. OG Sunshine, welcome in. Blackbird, welcome into the channel. Good to see you. Four Corners, I think I missed Four Corners there, but welcome in as well, Four Corners. Wild Country updates and more. Salute to you. Good to see you all coming in. Thanks for coming in and saying hi and being a part of this conversation. Yeah. You see there what Mayhem says there? He says, Zach is talking my area. Yep, exactly. Yeah. Almost like maybe he should get up here and talk about some of those things that he would do in a community.
Question number 3. What role does mutual aid play in building trust and solidarity within communities, and how does this contrast with top-down governmental assistance?
That is a great question, Zach. What role does mutual aid play in building trust and solidarity within communities? Well, obviously, when you have mutual aid, and I would imagine that what you're meaning by that is community sharing of assets, right? Or funds or means or whatever that might be. So obviously you give your taxes, right? And ideally, in an ideal world, our taxes should go to things like infrastructure, right, Zach? Our taxes should go to things like infrastructural needs, right? When these kinds of things happen. But we know that a lot of our tax money goes to pork spending, right? Goes to special interest, right? So the question to me is this: if someone gives you money, first of all, you're going to know that that money is going directly to a need in your community, right? Whereas, like we just mentioned before, you don't always have that guarantee, right? You before you know it, you're giving sex assignment surgery to somebody in Pakistan. Let Pakistanians do that if they want to do that, right? But so the question is, you'll know so that when you know that when that mutual aid does, it is going to helping your fellow people in the community, and also with the solidarity, when you invest in someone else, ideally they should invest in you as well. Is that always the case? No, but this goes back to why it's important to building ties, right? And that goes back to investing and in the community and getting to know people and doing all that kinds of things. For sure, 100%. She says she's listening. There you go. But with the top-down government, so first of all, so not everything that we give to our government is coming back to us. Secondly, with the government, you're just a number, right? And if Zach, if you were to give me assistance in anything, if I needed assistance from you and you gave me that assistance, what is that going to do? That means, hey, first of all, it means I know someone cares about me, right? And that means something, right? But it also is leveraging our resources and collecting in pool, because that is really what we're trying to do versus top-down government, because top-down government has the advantage of centralized currency. They have the advantage of endless amount of funds, and so we go and tend to rely on them more because of that. But if we pooled our resources more, and if we supported each other more, which means before we do business with somebody outside, and it's like I remember this in our town, and Zach knows exactly the town I live in. When they were redoing the logo for that stuff, remember that? Do you remember hearing about the logo stuff here? They hired somebody out of Edwards, Zach, to do the logo, and it cost them like $6,000 to do a little logo. And they could have asked somebody in the community. That could have gone to money that would have gone to local. Yeah, Mayhem knows, because Mayhem knows me. Yeah. So, but that's the kind of thing is with the top down, you are just a number. With the top down, it comes also with conditions, right? That's the other thing, and I think that's the important thing to distinguish between communities that support each other and a top-down government. Government is always going to have a stipulation. If you get our aid, you have to do this, right? If I were to give you $100 right now, Zach, I would just give you the $100, right? I wouldn't be like, okay, Zach, if I give you this $100, you've got to invest it in green energy. And exactly as Rebecca just said, then they own you. But that's how I look at it, buddy.
Mutual aid plays a crucial role in building trust and solidarity within communities by fostering a sense of collective responsibility, reciprocity, and interdependence. This stands in contrast to top-down governmental assistance, which often lacks the personal connection and grassroots involvement necessary to cultivate strong community bonds. Here's how mutual aid contributes to trust and solidarity within communities and its differences from governmental assistance. Personal connection. Mutual aid involves direct interaction and collaboration among community members, creating personal connections and relationships based on shared experiences and mutual support. This personal connection fosters trust and solidarity, as individuals feel a sense of belonging and investment in the well-being of their community. Reciprocity. Mutual aid operates on the principle of reciprocity, where individuals support each other with the understanding that assistance will be reciprocated when needed. This reciprocal relationship builds trust over time, as community members rely on each other for support, knowing that others will be there for them in return. Empowerment. Mutual aid empowers community members to take an active role in addressing their own needs and challenges, rather than relying solely on external assistance. This sense of agency and self-reliance fosters resilience and solidarity, as individuals come together to collectively solve problems and build a stronger community. Flexibility and adaptability. Mutual aid initiatives are often more flexible and adaptable than top-down governmental assistance programs. They can quickly respond to changing circumstances and emerging needs, as community members have a deep understanding of local dynamics and can tailor their support accordingly. Inclusivity. Mutual aid initiatives are often more inclusive and participatory than government-led programs, as they prioritize the voices and experiences of marginalized and underserved communities. This inclusivity strengthens solidarity by ensuring that all members of the community are actively involved in decision-making and resource allocation processes. In contrast, top-down governmental assistance may lack the personal connection, reciprocity, and grassroots involvement characteristic of mutual aid. Governmental assistance programs often operate through bureaucratic channels, which can create barriers to access and reduce community engagement. While governmental assistance plays an important role in providing resources and support during emergencies, it may not always foster the same level of trust, solidarity, and empowerment within communities as mutual aid initiatives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, again, and look at you using those $1 million words like reciprocity. Somebody likes a dictionary. I'm glad that I'm not the only one that uses that word, reciprocity. But no, I mean, obviously you hit it on the head there, Zach. I mean, and I think that, you know, that's the kind of the sad thing that we see with marginalized communities in the United States is a lot of these people tend to rely more on the government because the government says, hey, you're marginalized. Let us do this right for you. Let us, you know, hit this point to you and let us, you know, and it's like, okay, whatever. Yeah, absolutely. By the way, Zach, before I forget, Zach is going to be having a special stream next week. Aren't you, Zach? And Zach's special stream is going to be it's not going to be on the regular Wednesday, is it, buddy? It is actually going to be on Tuesday, April the 9th. And we're going to be having a birthday bash here for the birthday boy. Yes, it's going to be his birthday next Tuesday, April 9th. And he's going to be doing a live stream, aren't you, buddy? Yeah. And here's the thing. Here we've got a little special surprise for you. If everything goes according to plan, I will be there with Zach on his channel, on his actual camera, sitting right next to him. What am I, Zach? So yeah. So by the way, if you guys are interested, let me know. I do have some contact information you can hold on, make sure you get this, get to on this. But if you guys are interested and would like to I was planning on taking Zach to his favorite Mexican restaurant there by his house, and if you guys are interested in maybe giving him a birthday celebration, you can contact me, and those are ways you can do it. And if you would like to actually, help me get down there, like, obviously we all have our bills and our obstacles, and Zach's about 190 miles. I would say more close to 160 miles as the crow flies, but obviously, if you guys are interested in helping me give him a great birthday, you can let me know there and contact me, and anything you want to give, I would definitely give that to Operation 31. That's what it's going to be this year. And then next year we'll have Operation 32. And if you guys are interested in knowing what's going on with that, you can also email me, or you can email Mayhem Studios as well. But next Tuesday, I will be live in person, buddy. Won't I? I mean, I'll be there, and it won't be just the two of us separated. We'll have one screen, won't we, buddy? And we're gonna have our own little shindig, and I'll be on here, and so next Tuesday, look for his birthday and stream information and all that, and you'll see the both of us, and I'll be there in his town for his birthday, and we'll all be on together, and we're gonna do a big birthday bash for the birthday boy coming up this Tuesday. So make sure. He's going to probably put that in his thing here when he does schedule that. So look for that notification. Obviously, if you are on his Discord, you'll get that notification as well. Yes, and next year is Operation 32, and Mayhem is going to be coming out as well for that next year. So next year, a few of us are going to come back out, but I'm trying to go out and see Zach right now, and so it's... And I don't like to talk about much, but I did have some issues where our account got cooked with something that shouldn't have been taken out, and it did. And so I'm trying to make sure I can secure enough funds to go down there and see him. So thankfully, I have a car that has good gas mileage. But I hopefully we'll be seeing you for that, and we'll probably do another reminder at the end here. But yeah, so. All right. Sorry about that. You're going to try to get Rebecca to Operation 32? Okay. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, PA is a good way away, huh? Yep. Well, thanks, More Rock. Thanks for supporting this community and supporting Zach's other content creators that are in the chat, and we appreciate it. But for next year, if I will be driving from here in Colorado to Lincoln, Nebraska, and I'll be picking up Mayhem, So if you guys can get to Lincoln next year, of course, I probably can't take more than 3 people, so because I have a little Toyota car. uh, well, thank you, Miss Ghetto, for doing that. Mrs. Ghetto, thank you for that link there. But I look forward to being able to see Zach this next weekend. It'll be awesome. Lisa B says she'll be live on Friday. There you go, Jules. You're very welcome. Thank you. So polite. So nice. But I don't expect anything less than the people in this community, because Zach's an amazing guy, and so it makes sense that he has an amazing community. I will have to go the long way though to get to you, Zach, because I know there's going to be snow in the mountains. So, and I'll have to. But trust me,
One more little reminder. I'm going to be building a computer that I can use software that Stephen Hawking used for communication. If you want to donate, my links are in my LinkTree.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm 28% there.
28% there. Okay. And I don't have access to your stuff. I would highlight that comment with the link on that for the LinkTree, but I am but just a guest. So I'm sure he'll put that up there for you. There's lots of rain there. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of rain and snow here in Colorado. So, Oh, thank you, Indy. Thank you. See, look at that. Look at that, Indy. Indy's a rock star. She really is. No, Jules, he's not in Lincoln, but he goes to Lincoln often for his work. So. I have to ask you, Zach, have you ever been to the Buckhorn Exchange? Okay, so it's like this restaurant in Denver, and it looks like a taxidermist threw up in it. Like, and there's like so many different taxidermists, like animals, like mountain lions and goats and everything. And so they've got really good live game and good beef there. So next year when we come and get him, when we get the oh, there you go, Zach. That's the name of the software that Stephen Hawkins had. Oh yeah, our son has the ALS using Toby Dynavox. Okay, cool. Good to know. And so when I go get Mayhem pick him up from Lincoln to come to Colorado, we're gonna stop in Denver, and I'm gonna take him there to the Buckhorn Exchange. Oh wow, that's insane, Rose.
I need to look up the name. I'll probably do a short about it.
Oh, okay, good. That'd be a great idea. Absolutely. Oh, that's okay, Jane. You're all good. Thanks for that link there, Ghetto, Mrs. Ghetto. Yeah, I couldn't believe it, Rebecca. Especially with all the lush green foliage that you guys have in Pennsylvania. Believe it or not, Zach, my father-in-law who lives here in Colorado, like, we're no stranger to trees here in Colorado, are we, buddy? But he said that Pennsylvania, he after being in Pennsylvania for 2 weeks, he got sick of trees. I don't know how that happens, because I'd probably,
Question number 4. Can you
Okay.
provide examples of communities successfully addressing local needs and concerns without relying heavily on government intervention?
Well, I mentioned the example of what happened in Tennessee with the flooding. I think someone else here in the chat talked about what happened in somewhere down south with the tornadoes. I know for myself that there was a situation where one of the local organizations here, exactly, Four Corners, yep. But they essentially basically got into a situation where we had the I-70 cut off, right? Oh, there it is. Okay. Assistive, contextually aware toolkit, ACAT. Gotcha. Okay. And yeah, so I and some of the local community organizations stepped in and helped, because all the, sometimes, as you know, in Colorado, we get forest fires. And those forest fires really can shut off highways and interstates. And so, and then there was a bunch of those Broncos that had gotten trapped up in the mountains, and the government was trying to get there, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't get there for like 3 days. And so a bunch of farm boy ranchers went out there and herded them out of the area. So, I mean, there's a lot of examples of that. I think the thing of it is, for me, about providing, I think the best example, though, of this is actually in Pennsylvania with the Amish. How they live and exist. Now, they live a lifestyle that a lot of us wouldn't maybe always enjoy, but you can see it happen. You can actually do it. You have to be willing to make sacrifices. And I think that's the importance, for what kind of freedom you live. Like in the same thing in Alaska, the homesteaders up there in Alaska, you have to be able to hunt your own food, right? You have to be able to live off a bear all year. So I guess the question comes, there's a lot of examples, but I do think it relies on the community, and I think it does happen. We don't hear a lot about it because I don't think there's really a interest in the media to tell us about. I do, and Amish, but I need an AC. Exactly. Bocorn Exchange, yeah, 1893. It's the oldest bar in Colorado.
There are numerous examples of communities successfully addressing local needs and concerns without relying heavily on government intervention. Here are a few examples. Community gardens and urban farming initiatives. In many urban areas, communities have established community gardens and urban farming initiatives to address food insecurity and promote sustainability. These projects empower residents to grow their own food, promote healthy eating habits, and strengthen community bonds through shared labor and resources. Mutual aid networks. Mutual aid networks have gained prominence, especially during times of crisis such as natural disaster. These networks involve community members voluntarily providing assistance to one another, whether it's through food distribution, childcare, financial support, or emotional solidarity. They operate on principles of solidarity, reciprocity, and grassroots organizing, bypassing traditional governmental channels.
100%.
Housing cooperatives. Housing cooperatives are formed when residents collectively own and manage housing units, often providing affordable housing options and fostering a sense of community ownership. These cooperatives empower residents to take control of their living environments, address housing needs, and create supportive communities without relying on external government intervention. Community-led disaster preparedness and response. Many communities have developed their own disaster preparedness and response plans, organizing volunteer teams, establishing emergency shelters, and conducting drills to ensure readiness in the event of a crisis. These initiatives leverage local knowledge, resources, and networks to effectively address community needs without waiting for government assistance.
Absolutely.
Community-based health initiatives. In areas with limited access to healthcare services, community-based health initiatives have emerged to provide essential medical care, health education, and preventive services. These initiatives are often led by community health workers and volunteers who understand the unique needs and challenges of their communities, leading to more culturally competent and accessible healthcare solutions. These examples demonstrate the resilience and creativity of communities in addressing local needs and concerns through self-organization, cooperation, and collective action, highlighting the potential for community-led initiatives to complement and enhance governmental interventions.
You know, Zach, it sounds like I should have been asking you these questions, because these are answers you're giving us are great. Yeah, I could tell you put a lot of thought in these questions and a lot of thought in the answer that you gave us. So I feel like I should be the one that's doing the questioning and you giving us Professor Zach the information there, buddy. I want to just catch up on our chat here. Jules says I left Colorado 10 years ago. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's where we live. So Mount Sneakers was soaked. My church's food pantry, Rebecca says, supplies are about 18 other places, including local jail. Okay. Navy Vet, good to see you. Navy Vet 103 says, Mrs. Ghetto, good evening. So good evening to Navy Vet. Rose says, oh, that's a good lease. So we finally built a permanent drainage outside the garage. I always dug a little ditch. But for the most part, we don't take on much water because we are on higher ground. And some of the houses here are built on sea level, though built is still kind of okay. Cola says Zach is too nice, but he doesn't like the nickname Buddy. Okay, is that true? You don't, and I say that, do I? Okay. Well, thank you, Cola. He obviously knows you, or they know you better than I do, right? You don't like Buddy, huh? Okay. All right. I'll be mindful of that. Thank you for that, Cola. Crazy Bee Gaming says, thank you, everyone, for stopping in and joining us today. Sean says, the Unforgettables Foundation here in Riverside is local, and they are bringing money to cover funeral expenses for children that pass away unexpectedly. So they're a boon to grieving parents. Very local. Good. That's a great example right there. Rose says, I do like the Amish, but I need AC. Let's see here. Rebecca says there's a lot of examples in her area. Air conditioning is overrated, says Sean. Just wear shorts and t-shirts. I would disagree with you, Sean. Actually, the best way to keep your body cool is to actually wear layers. It's the reason why the Bedouins do it. Think about that. The Bedouins in the desert, they wear all that top heavy stuff so they can maintain their moisture. And if you don't believe me, watch Dune. They talk about that too in there. Lisa B says, exactly, Sean or Zach. I would die if I didn't have an AC. I don't turn on the AC often. I can live without it. Okay. So people are talking about the AC here. So, Truth with Tom, welcome in, Truth with Tom. He says, hey, friends from wild, wonderful West Virginia. Sean says, be advised, folks in Cali, our organic farmers are having stillborn lambs and baby goats, kids in big numbers. Looks linked to geoengineering. So bring livestock indoors, watch their food if they're pregnant. Good to know. Tom says, Zach, you're a rascal. You rascal. Yeah, so make sure I got through everything here. The unknown knows by the void. My area doesn't have nearly as many community gardens as one might think, especially if you see it in an aerial view. Amy B says, Zach has the big brain this evening. It's cool to learn from each other. Exactly. I know. He's the professor. Like, he's telling us what we need. Cola says, LOL. Yep. Oh, that's because I told him what a buddy does. Truth to Tom. Whatever that's supposed to mean. Is that a burn, do you think? Thanks for that. There might be something I'm missing here, Zach, huh? Everything going on with controversy over our farm animals feels like the Ark. Keep at least 2, not exactly, but you know what I mean. Says one more rock. Mayhem says, I don't like AC either, and I prefer to be naked. Why does he always have to bring this up? He always does this, Zach. You know that, right? Like, he's always making a reference about him being naked. Whenever I do a stream with him, he's like, okay, I'm going to make sure the camera's off because I'm naked. I'm like, why are you naked in your truck? But, you know, I understand. I mean, when I'm inside, you know, I don't like to wear layers as well. But, you know, obviously layers is helpful. You don't got AC, so swimming IDF you can. I'd prefer, says Rebecca. Wow, this is insane chat. I mean, look at this chat's been really active tonight, hasn't it, buddy? Oh, sorry, see that? Oh, I need to slap my hand. There we go. See, I tried to catch myself there, but I did. So I did myself the slap on the hand. Okay, so that's another taco I owe you on Tuesday. you know, instead of the swear jar, I need to have a buddy jar, don't I? And I'll put a little dime in there every time, or a nickel. Or maybe knowing you and your expensive taste, Zach, you might want a quarter in there every time I say that, huh? Okay. Sorry, it's a habit of mine. Well, I think Little Buddy Brothers am worse, but it's because it has a condescending tone like a little kid, and he's a grown ass man. Oh, okay, I can see that. I can get that. Well, that's why I try not to say the little buddy like that. I mean, because that would, you know, or like, remember, Zach, you probably don't remember this, but I remember when I was a kid, there was the my buddy, wherever he goes, I go, my buddy, my buddy and me. Yeah. I'm just showing my age right there. My little town just gets together and helps each other out when stuff goes wrong. Well, that's the ideal, isn't it? That's what a community does. Hit those like friends. Always optional, never mandatory. Okay. Well, I think I got caught up on the chat. So what we learned from chat is some people like AC, some people don't, and Zach doesn't like Buddy. Okay, I think we're caught up. I know he's just nice to say it. Yeah. Oh yeah, kid sister, kid sister and me. LOL, I would love to sing that song to my niece. Subscribe and thumbs up, please. Wow. Navy vet and all the scripts that Navy has there. Mayhem says doing search and rescue naked is a totally different experience. Well, you know, if you don't mind your dingleberries getting snatched in the brush, then I guess that's how it goes. Amy B says, "Wow, musical interludes. A show of hands. Who is growing something this year? Doesn't have to be a full garden, but just a step above 2 more self-sufficient." There you go. I'd be there. Not a fan of Chucky. So Rebecca says, "Mayhem, if you search me naked, that's a conversation first." We're getting into PG-13 here on the chat here. Isn't that right, Zach? Well, I think we're ready for a 5th question.
Question number 5. How might decentralizing decision-making processes to the community level lead to more tailored solutions and better outcomes for diverse populations?
I don't even know the first place to start with this question because it is so detailed and so, I mean, it's, you know what I'm saying, dude?
Decentralizing decision-making processes to the community level empowers local residents to directly address their own unique needs and concerns. By involving diverse populations in the decision-making process, communities can develop more tailored solutions and achieve better outcomes for everyone involved. Here's how decentralization can lead to more tailored solutions and better outcomes. Understanding local context. Communities have an intimate understanding of their own social, cultural, economic, and environmental contexts. Decentralizing decision-making allows community members to draw upon this local knowledge to develop solutions that are sensitive to their specific circumstances. Engagement of diverse perspectives. Decentralization promotes the inclusion of diverse voices and perspectives in decision-making processes. By involving people from different backgrounds, experiences, and identities, communities can develop more holistic and inclusive solutions that address the needs of all community members. Flexibility and adaptability. Decentralized decision-making processes are often more flexible and adaptable to changing circumstances. Communities can respond quickly to emerging issues and adjust strategies as needed, without being bound by rigid bureaucratic structures. Empowerment and ownership. When community members are involved in decision-making, they feel a greater sense of ownership and investment in the outcomes. This empowerment encourages active participation and collaboration, leading to more sustainable and effective solutions. Tailored resource allocation. Decentralization allows communities to allocate resources based on their own priorities and preferences. Rather than relying on top-down directives, local residents can prioritize investments that align with their specific needs and goals, maximizing the impact of limited resources. Furthermore, decentralizing decision-making processes to the community level enables residents to develop solutions that are better suited to their diverse needs, preferences, and contexts. By fostering inclusivity, flexibility, empowerment, and ownership, decentralized governance can lead to more tailored and effective outcomes for all members of the community.
Yeah. Well, and I think the thing of it is this. So the people who would advocate for centralization would say it allows you to use and harness the capital, right? And use the ability of that. The problem is, of course, with everything, decentralization, the way to go. Good reasons you mentioned, Zach. Yep. And the other thing, Zach, is that with centralization, yes, you can gather more resources. However, it's always because of so many people being in one tent, there's a lot of people trying to bide for those resources, right? And so for the people who are getting resources, it's working for them. For the people that are not, it's not. So that's why what you're hitting on with certain communities, it'd be more important for them to have some decentralization brought in. But I think for me, when I look at that question and I think about it, Zach, it's really, I think, an issue of the more centralization, the more hands, the more chiefs, if there are, and the more people who are making decisions, and the more of those people to get in that position have to use other resources or money to get to that time. And because of that, it makes for people being left behind and falling through the cracks, right? So I definitely think that. Amy B says, we are at the perfect time of the year to discuss taxation being a sanctioned form of theft. Yep. Rebecca says, decentralized. Oops. I gotta go back on my thing here. Rebecca says decentralization takes away government control. The community knows the community's needs and strengths. Rose says, yes, I agree with community is different and has some different needs. Yep. Grumpy Acres, hello, as they say in southern Mexico, y'all. Hola, y'all. The unknown knows by avoid says decentralization breeds a disproportionate level of corruption. Absolutely, that's the point. Yeah, because people want influence, and to be able to have the influence to use that centralizational means has to then, it becomes basically a betting war for who can get that kind of thing. Mama Max says centralization in big business has created a professional managerial class that is helping to run this. Absolutely, and they're not just managerial; they're micromanagers, right? It's the micromanagement of the United States, and the sad thing is, Mama, is that they're not even Mac. Sorry, I thought it was an X, but yeah, but they're not even Mama Mac. They're not even doing that. They're not even actually authentically micromanaging it. And and a good example of this, Zach, is look at what the Department of Transportation, what's happened with all these train wrecks and derailments, right? Like what the heck is going on with this? And we saw what happened, right, in Ohio. So I mean, if you're looking for the government to help you, I'm sorry, you might wait a long time, as people in Hurricane Katrina and New Orleans can tell you. But that's a great comment, Mama. Thank you for it. One more rock says Mexico, aka America now. Yeah. So what is the first thing done in 2020? They stopped communities coming together, assemble now, or be assembled in the panic. Exactly. Absolutely. 100%. Growing colder weather tomato plants this year, one from Russia. Oh, cool. Even if you like things done with taxes, you can't deny it's theft. It's just theft you sanctioned. Exactly, Grumpy. Well, and again, like I said earlier, and you weren't probably here when I mentioned it, but I said that even with taxation, even though it's supposed to go towards infrastructural needs, it's being spent on pork. It's being spent on special interest. It's mismanaged and all that. But the other thing too is this. So the whole idea of taxation is we have to take your money to be able to then provide you services. And really, there are places in this country where it always seems like they're working on the roads, right? And you're like, are they ever going to get this road done? Like, where's all this supposed money going to fix these things, right? Like, and that's why the whole thing, and I don't mean to get this too political, Zach, but the whole Build Back Better was such BS. I mean, it was such BS. They're totally mismanaging tax money. All the countries would be better. Oh yeah, that's actually exactly. And again, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share. Hit the notification bell. Share this with your friends. Don't forget to go to LinkTree. You can get all the stuff for Zach's links there. Don't forget, you can also go to it's uniqueprepping. Is it .com, Zach? Uniqueprepping.com to get all of your unique prepping gear. Right? Yeah. Well, go exactly, Grumpy. But when does he not plagiarizing people? Right. That's what he does all the time, is plagiarize people. The lady in charge of all the government services is named Helen Waite. If you need the government to help you, you go to Helen Waite. That's clever, Tom. That's clever. We had taxation without representation. Now we have taxation with representation, but yet we don't see the results. But that's because they're not representing us. Yeah, that's the reason. It's because they're representing the people who got them elected, which are the special interests. Our local bridges are a mess. Yeah, exactly. Build Biden's bank. Exactly.
Agencies need to be abolished.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for that link there. Mrs. Ghetto put that up there, Zach, for the link tree. So if you want to highlight that, Zach, then they can see that again. Make sure they see that. There you go. Thanks again, Mrs. Ghetto, for doing that. But there's the unique prepping link tree where you can find all of his links. And don't forget Discord. 100%. And don't forget, coming up, we've got the birthday bash with this handsome man here to the left, on your left of the screen here. He's going to be turning. You want to tell him how old you're going to be? Or do you want him to not know? 31. Yep. So he's going to be 31. That's why we're calling next year Operation 32, because he'll be 32 next year. So if you guys survive somehow the upcoming solar eclipse, you'll have something to live for, more than just living through the solar eclipse. You'll have the birthday bash coming up this so it'll be next Tuesday. So if you guys come here on Wednesday for his regular stream, just know he'll be here on Tuesday. Are you gonna go live again on Wednesday too, or just gonna do Tuesday for next week? Just Tuesday? Yeah. All right. I have underwear older than 31. I can believe that, Tom. I can believe that. Uniqueprepping.com. Thanks for that link there, Mrs. Ghetto. Thank you for putting that in the chat. I wish I was 31. I don't know if I want to go back to 31. My 40s are so much better than my 30s. Although I did get married in my 30s, so that was one of the high parts of my life, was getting married at 35. So so do you have any ideas of what you want to do? You're just going to hang out on your next stream, right? On the birthday bash stream? So we'll talk about anything. We'll have requests. TMI, Tom. TMI. Exactly. Oh, yeah, exactly. You turned 40 this year in June. That's right, Mayhem. You're going to be joining the rest of us. Yeah, it's called like, Dean, it's called like, what is it called? Operation Serpent or something like that, or Serpent God or something like that. You swear, like, if these guys are not trying to be a bunch of conspirators, like they're obviously, and we know that they do this kind of stuff. I mean, the Air Force did it all the time with the UFO people. So they are gaslighting people all the time with this kind of stuff. So Rose says, you are a bunch of youngsters. I have a t-shirt from 1990. I might have a t-shirt from 1990. I actually wish I used to have this one t-shirt, and it was a rocket, and this one, it was from 1989, and I went to see my uncle who was on the Air Force Base in Rapid City, South Dakota, and it was a rocket going through a Soviet flag. And I wish I still had that t-shirt. Of course, I probably couldn't wear it now, but I would love to make that t-shirt again or something, especially when I see all these kids wearing all these Soviet t-shirts and all the Shea shirts and all that.
I'll have open panel, do a donation stream, and in exchange I'll give the donors merch.
Ah, there you go. Nice. So there's something special there. So you're going to have a lot of special stuff happening there. And absolutely, Truth to Tom. Truth to Tom, I'm 100% with you on what that is. And you and I will be together on one screen, buddy. I've crossed paths with too many thieves and roof leaks to have a t-shirt. Yeah. Yes, Zach does a great show on. Absolutely, 100%. Will there be dancing lampshades in a disco ball? I'm hopeful. Also, just do like a flashlight above you, Zach, and do it like a strobe. Oh man. Well, we're gonna have fun on his birthday, that's for sure, huh, Zach? I'm gonna go through a uranium-filled ghost town. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Zach?
Sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Case closed.
Are you saying you don't agree with Tom there? Or that you do? Ah, yes. We're going to have to make it a dance party, Amy says. A little uranium never hurt anyone. No. That's why they shut down the entire town. Zach's going to have me up there next week. I guess I got to wear pants. Yeah. But he'll be on another, if he comes on the stream, he won't be with us. Like he'll be on the right where I normally am here, and you and I are going to be on the left. Totally need a dance party. Yes. And we can start doing a little karaoke as well, right? We can sing a little bit like Zach, I'm sure, has a beautiful singing voice. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady. I get no kick from champagne. Mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. But I get a kick out of you. Or most likely, what's going to happen? I'm singing in the rain. Just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. And is there a question 6? I don't know. You know what we could do, Zach? Did you ever see Night at the Roxbury or the Saturday Night Live skit with that? We can go like that. Boom, 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 boom. Exactly, mayhem. Look at that, Zach. That's true. It is true. See what Mayhem says there? I love how a guy from Arkansas brought 2 Coloradans together. It's true. Question 6. Will John C.
I'll do my
Sinatra-
stuff in my helium voice.
There you go. There you go. Return to me. Or when the moon hits the sky like a giant pizza pie, it's amore. Exactly. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. Exactly. Yikes, I didn't know it was that kind of party. I don't know if she's talking about my singing or your helium voice or both. But I need to have my soundboard so I can do drum rolls on this stuff. Wear pants. This isn't CNN. Oh, Dean, that's funny.
I'm in Colorado.
Zach, are you in? Ron. Yeah. So Mayhem is from Arkansas. I met Zach through Mayhem. Zach lives in Colorado. I live in Colorado. That's why I'll be there with him next week in person, in studio, live from Zach's house in Colorado. So no Mayhem stripping for Zach's birthday? No. Oh man, no. I've never seen a guy talk more about being naked than Zach. I mean, than Mayhem. So oh, Mayhem. You're gonna make Rebecca blush. Oh, thank you, Rose. Thank you. I also like to sing Neil Diamond. Racklin Rosie, get on board. We gonna ride till there ain't no more of those. Take it slow. You saying slow it down? Slow it down? You want me to stop?
Sorry, Mayhem, I don't swing that way, but a little birdie told me you do.
Oh! 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 Oh, Lisa B says her uncle lives in Denver. That's nice. Not bad on Neil Diamond. Well, thank you, Sean. I love Neil Diamond. Get him, Zach. I don't swing that way.
I don't sing that way, Zach.
Oh, burn. Zach. Dude. Moonchild's like looking. She's like, oh, awkward. Oh my god. Well, my little birdie swings this way and that way. I can even do the hummingbird. I don't know what to make of that comment. Ma'am, I really don't. But okay. You had to say that, didn't you, Zach? You had to mention swinging with him by referencing him naked. So now we have to get that image out of my head. Oh man, this we've gone from PG-13 to borderline R, right? we're like 80s PG. Oh, I do too, Sean. I do. Can we change the subject now? What's up with all that? Yeah. Well, a lot of it's because we live in a blue state. But Colorado, I mean, they're trying to prevent stuff that's happening like in Flint or other places. In fact, one of the local water people had to just come by and check the lines for lead, even though as long as they've been around, they've never used lead in there. But yeah, Denver does suck. Nothing but liberals, homeless people, and dare I say it, gay governors. We have a rainwater tax. Oh, now everyone has dreams of Mayhem running naked. That's what you would like to think, Mayhem. Why don't we sing a little song to get our minds off of that? Like, let's see here. You're gonna get them singing the streak singing. Well, and not just the airport. I mean, there's also the what they call it. What do they call the horse at DIA? It's what is it? Blocko or whatever his name. I don't remember. There's a name for the blue demonic horse. We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city.
Any last words, brother?
Any last words? Just how important it is to be a part of a community, to reach out to your community, to let people know Marconi plays the mambo, listening to the radio. And don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe for Zach's stuff. Want to thank you, Zach, for having me up here and me being a part of the program. And of course, I think you educated me more than I did anything productive in this, except for singing some songs and talking about Mayhem naked. But I mean, so that's what you get when we have Mayhem in the stream. He lives up to his name, doesn't he, Zach? But I just want to remind people. So next week, Zach will be here on Tuesday. You'll see the both of us over there. I can't. There. There you go. Yeah, exactly, Mrs. Ghetto. And that's going to be April 9th for that. And then, of course, if you guys are interested, and if you'd like to help me, I'm going to take them out to a Mexican restaurant. If you'd like to help with that fund, or if you would like to help get in contact with me or support me to help me and Mayhem get Operation 32 for Zach going on next year, please, that's my contact information right there. Anyways, other than that, brother, I want to again thank you for having me on, and again having this great conversation about this important stuff. And thanks for On More Rock for being here. Thanks everyone for being here. Good grief, I fell asleep and woke to talking about Mayhem's nudity. I know. I know. Mayhem's now going to call me. And by the way, have you heard Mayhem's ringtone or his answering machine thing? He got me on that like 3 times. He's like, hey, you've reached me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wait, hey, how's it going? I can't hear you. I'm like, he's like, got you for new. I'm like, he's always got me. But, I think it's important now more than ever to come together and learn from each other and support each other and show everyone the love of God. And that's all we can do. That's all I got. And it's good to see everyone as well. Mm. Good. Thank you, Sean. Great conversation you had as well. I appreciate everyone's conversation and their comments. This is a great channel, great community, great chat. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh, this is worse than when I told the story about me being molested by the ghost in Rico, and Virginia Roots were was talking about it being a instead of it was a phantasm. Man, did that stream go nuts. Oh. Next year we're gonna have to take Mayhem to that haunted brothel hotel in Rico, won't we? I'm gonna get touched by a phantom and like it. Haunted brothel sounds like P. Diddy's next biopic. And what's great, Sean, is that the name of that place is called the Mine Shaft Inn. Mine Shaft Inn. It used to be a formal brothel.
My last words are communities are very important to getting away from the government and basically the system that is trying to take us down. I'm to the point where we need each other more than ever. With that, I'll say I love you all. Therefore put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything, to stand. Yep. Ephesians 6:13 NIV.
Yep. Well, thank you guys. Love you guys. Hope you guys had a great time. I know I did. I remember my divorce. She got the gold mine and I got the shaft. For sure.
The problem is me.